into the mentality, having the ability, getting down with yourself and the challenges that you face off against, starting to ask ourselves the questions: is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? We got to ask ourselves these questions every day. We got to get ourselves into that kind of mentality. How do we start to get to the point where we start sitting down with ourselves? How do we start to get our energy into the place where we start utilizing it, where what we have is our mentality, where what we have is our ability, where we become that when we start to manifest it, when we start to put our mentality in place where you're asking yourself the questions that nobody else would. And a lot of times we have to ask ourselves, what are those questions? What is the purpose? Why are we here? What are we here to do? How do we start to get down with our mentality? How do we start to get to our ability inside of ourselves? And so inside of yourself, your mentality has a place. Inside of yourself, your mentality has an ability. Inside of yourself, you are you. And so how do you start to get there? How do you start to challenge the things that other people won't? How do you start to get the energy inside of yourself flowing in such a way that it has the ability to be utilized, that it has the ability to become a reflection where you are so focused that you're not stopping yourself from your ability to be you, that you're not stopping yourself from overcoming your challenges, that you're so focused on what you want to achieve that what you want to become becomes a reflection. And so how do we focus to that point? How do we get down with those kinds of challenges? How do we get to that kind of mentality? And it's going to come from within. It's going to come from the ability inside of yourself. It's going to come from your level of focus, from the things that you're able to do that other people aren't. It's going to come from when you sit down with you. And a lot of the challenges that we face off against are not meant to be easy. They're not meant to be easy because they're meant for you. They're meant for you to overcome. They're meant for you to make your way through them, to build your own path, to be on your journey, to have your place, to have your mentality. And it's going to be inside of you that it's going to take. It's going to be inside of you that you're going to need to do it. It's going to be inside of you that you're going to focus to that place. It's going to be inside of you that you're going to go beyond your challenges, and you're going to be who you want to be and who you want to achieve, and achieve the dreams that you want to achieve. And what are those dreams? What are those dreams? And how do you start to overcome them? How do you start to get through them? What will it take you to get there? How will you get there? When will you get there? Are you focused to that point where what you're utilizing has that ability inside of yourself to overcome it? Are you focused to that point where you're not allowing the things that would be around you to affect you? And so, are we getting down with it on our own? Are we getting down with it on our mentality? Are we getting down with it on our abilities? And what are your abilities? What are your challenges? What are they? How do you start to overcome them? How do you start to get through them? Can you be on your journey? Can other people join you on your journey? And how can you do it? Can they help you to do it? And so those are types of questions that we got to ask ourselves daily. Is it meditation? Is it motivating? And is it inspiration? And so when we start to become that, when we start to have that kind of place, when we start to have that kind of mentality, where what we're focusing on is that ability inside of ourselves, what we're focusing on is overcoming our own challenges. And a lot of people aren't willing to ask themselves that question. They're not willing to get down with themselves to that place where they start to overcome things that nobody else can do for them. And it's inside of that place that we find ourselves. It's inside of that place that we see that we are a blessing in the universe. It's inside of that place where The mentality inside starts to give you the permission to overcome your challenges. And each day you're going to face off against challenges. It's not meant to be easy. It's meant to become overcome. It's meant for you to make it through it. It's meant for you to see the lessons inside of it, to see the ability to have a place, to have a mentality to go beyond your challenges, to see that you can make it through them, that you can save, that you can actually put your mind to something and you can achieve it, that you can overcome those things that you might have thought were impossible. That when your mentality has a place, when your ability has a place, when you hold in there when other people would quit, when other people would say it's not possible, when you're the only one in the kitchen, when you're the only one going through your challenges, and they would say it's impossible for this to happen and you're able to do it. When it's impossible for this to happen and you're still grinding. When it's impossible to happen and you are achieving things. When it's impossible to happen with what you have and you still make it happen. It's with that kind of focus, it's with that kind of place that we start to build ourselves. That's where we start to build our ability to overcome challenges, that we find that the reflection radiates outwards. And so what is it taking you to get there? How are you going to get there? What kind of challenges do you have to pass through so that you could truly start to focus to that point? And that's a question that we each need to ask ourselves. We need to ask ourselves, how? How am I going to get where I want to go? How am I going to achieve this? How am I going to go through these challenges? How am I going to get to that place where this mentality starts to work, where this ability starts to happen, where this body starts to get moving, where this level of focus starts to have its place? A lot of different places. There is meditation, there is exercise, there is reading, there is writing, there is the ability to listen to positivity, to recognize that your mentality has a purpose, that your mentality has a place, and that is called an able mentality. That is called an ability to give yourself permission to see positive, to work through the negative so you can see the positive in the challenge, so that you can see the positive from your mentality, from your able ability. And what are those types of challenges that you're facing off against today? Leave comments here on the types of challenges that you're facing off against today. And let's start to work through them. Let's start getting that energy to flow in such a way that you can see that manifestation, so that you can see that ability, so that you can see that your focus can go beyond, that you can go beyond the challenges that you have. You can go beyond the things that other people wouldn't do. When you're so focused, then you can do things to the point where the universe can use you as a tool. When you are so focused, you can become an expert at any field that you choose to go into, but you got to focus to that place. You got to say to yourself when other people are saying just quit, you got to continue when other people would just give up. And you got to continue to put yourself in a mindset where that mentality has a place, and that is you. You are on this journey, you are on this path to identify that. You are on this journey to become that. You are on this journey to grow through that. And as you constantly evolve, as you constantly face off against challenges, recognize that you can overcome them, that you can go through them, that you can find that place, that mentality, that you can do what other people would call impossible, because impossible is nothing less than a mentality. And so, how do we start to think that way? I want to show you an example. We are utilizing devices like cell phones, like smartphones, like computers. At a certain point in time, they did not focus to the point to achieve what we have today. Why did they not focus to that level? They called it impossible. At a certain point, people saw the Star Trek device and they looked at it and said, this is impossible, this is awesome, and this would be cool to have one day. So when we see that kind of mentality, another story, Arnold Schwarzenegger once lifted up a 3,000-pound log on one shoulder. They told him it was impossible. They said it was impossible to lift that. And as he lifted it, he said, since nobody else could do it, and they said it was impossible to do it, and I did it, I could say that I was the first to do it. So can we get to that place where the mentality that you are the first to live your life, that you are a miracle in your life, that you are a blessing, that your path, your purpose, that it's for you to see that you can achieve it, that you can believe in you, that you can get to that place where you can lift your own 3,000-pound log, where you can stand up from within yourself, that you can pull from places in this universe that you never thought you could. It's from that mentality that we start to find that the place where other people have focused to, where other people have gone, where other people have achieved, is inside of you as well. And so if there is a person who has become the best singer on the face of the planet, then you can too. If there is a person that has achieved things that you thought were impossible, and you want to truly achieve them, if you want to truly achieve them, focus. If you truly want to achieve them, sleep day and night thinking about it. Every single day that you wake up, mentality is in place. Every night that you go to bed, mentality is in place. Putting ourselves in a place where we see ourselves there before we even get there. Before it even happens for you, let it happen inside of you. Let it happen in your level of focus. Let it happen in your ability to dominate your walk, to dominate your ability, to see it happen from within. Let it manifest its way out. Let it focus to that place. Let yourself get down with those kind of challenges. Get down with that kind of mentality. Get down with that kind of ability. Get to that place where you are so focused that it doesn't matter what's going on around you, it's what's going on inside you. Where you are so focused that the universe has no choice but to utilize your gifts, has no choice but to recognize that you are a force in the universe, that when you are so focused that you achieve things, and you're not going to be able to achieve many things, achieve little things and make them great, achieve a few things and do them well, achieve a few things and become the best on the face of the planet, and focus at them and give yourself that place and give yourself that kind of mentality, that you could see the positivity, that you could see the ability, that you could see that you are a blessing, that the universe and the Most High has the ability to utilize you. As you focus to that level, don't be surprised when other people start to see you as a reflection of motivation. Don't be surprised when you're doing something that nobody else can do. A friend of mine, she works Tacos Tuesdays, and she has to do it by herself, and there's nobody's there to prep for her. She has to do all the prepping herself. She has to get into that place where that mentality, where that journey has the ability to overcome those kinds of challenges, has the ability to overcome those kind of reflection, and it inspires other people to see that. When they see that one person is doing it for themselves, you'd be surprised in how many people show up. When they see one's mentality in such a place that the ability inside has it, that it has the ability to overcome it, that you can focus beyond it. When you focus beyond where other people go, when other people see you as a reflection, when they see you as a level, when you are living your life, when you are living through your challenges, and you are getting up when you are sleeping little, and you are getting out there and you're putting yourself in a place and you are believing in yourself, the results come back. And don't be surprised when you start to see yourself improving. Don't be surprised when the blessings start to come your way, when you start to go through the things that other people wouldn't be willing to go through. When you start to get down with yourself, that is the place where it starts. That is the place inside of our mentality. That is the place inside of our ability. And so, are we focusing beyond those challenges? Are we uplifting people beyond those things that they didn't think were possible? And so focus there for yourself first. Focus there for your ability. Start to recognize that what you put down, you can achieve. What you put in your mentality, you can become. That when you focus beyond it, when you give yourself that kind of place, when you give yourself that kind of mentality, when you see that you have a gift on the face of the planet, which is called focus, when you start to utilize your level of focus, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be worth it. It's going to bring you towards positivity. It's going to make you write down when things are difficult. It's going to make you write down when things are going positive, because it's meant to turn your mentality in such a way that what you put in front of yourself, you become. What you put in front of yourself, you start to achieve. What you put in front of yourself, you start to manifest. But it's inside of the focus that we gotta get there. It's inside of the focus that we gotta dominate. It's inside of the focus that we can become. It's inside of the focus that we can see that the time we have, we can manifest. That the jobs that we have, that the paths that we have, that the journeys that we have are blessings. And are you seeing your blessings? Are you seeing your path? Are you on your journey? Or is your journey dominating you? Let's get on that page together. Let's get to that page where we dominate our day, where we dominate our week, where when you wake up, you have a reason to wake up, where you have an ability to start your day with your positive ability, that you have the ability to see both positive and negative forces working in your life, that they have the ability to work through you, that you can hear this message and it uplifts you, that the manifestation of that level of focus gives you the ability to bypass the challenges, that when those challenges come, you see them as light, because your mentality is positive. Your ability is positive. The things that come your way are meant to be there. Allow them to have that place. Allow them to have those kinds of challenges. Allow them to have that kind of mentality. You have that focus from within where you are positive, where you have the ability to be sure of the things that you do have, that the gifts that you have, that the challenges that you have, that this universe has nothing less but the ability to yield. It has nothing less than the ability to become results, that your level of focus goes beyond where others would go, that you could become focused beyond focus. When other people look at you, when they see you, when they see your level of focus, they ask themselves this question. They ask themselves, can I do that? I don't know if I could become that focused. I don't know if I could get to that place. The only way for you to get there is inside of yourself. The only way to get there is to wake up when you say you're going to do something. If you're going to go to the gym at a certain time, go. Even if you don't feel like it. If you're going to be on a diet, be on a diet. If you're going to put yourself in a place where you're going to focus beyond others' challenges, put yourself in that mentality. Give yourself that kind of permission. Give yourself that kind of place. Give yourself that ability. You know, we can become the best of friends. We can become the best of lovers in the universe if we can focus beyond where other people are willing to go. If we can see the ability to achieve things through manifestation. If we can get to that place where what we focus on in this universe. And I'm here to tell you that it's not when you ask yourself if you're motivated. It's when you focus and other people see you motivated. It's when other people see you with an ability. It's when other people see you as a tool from the Most High God. It's when you see and understand and recognize that process working through you that you can see the blessings coming your way. It's when you can achieve a place where you give to others, where others start to achieve a light, where they start to achieve an ability, where they start to call you a level of motivation. Let them be the ones. You strive for a level of focus inside of yourself. You strive for a place inside of yourself. You strive for an ability for you to be you. A lot of people ask this question. They ask, can you achieve you without speaking your mind? No, you can't. You have to be who you are. You have to go through the challenges that you've gone through. You have to go through the places that you've been. You have to get to that place where you focus beyond where other people are willing to go. What does it take to get there? Can you put stuff down on paper? Can you write it down? Can you put what you want to manifest there in front of you? Can you turn it into things that other people thought were impossible? Like a manual. If you put it in front of yourself, you can see how to build the picture. You are a picture. Every day you have pieces. Every day you go places. Every day you face off against challenges. Do you connect the pieces? Do you put them down in front of you? Do you start to manifest them? Do you start to reflect outwards from your level inside of you? Or is your process working on a daily? Is it working on a weekly? If it's not, connect with this network, motivation, meditation, inspiration. Start asking yourself the question, is what I'm doing today bringing me to a place of motivation? Is what I'm doing today bringing me to a place of meditation? Is what I'm doing today bringing me to a place of inspiration? Am I able to see it through the challenges that I face off against? Am I able to be in the place where I am and to still be uplifted? To see that those things are bringing me one step closer to the ability to achieve my dreams, my goals, my ability to become who I want to become. And so what are they? What does it take for you to get there? Can you put on mentality? Can you listen to positivity? Can you see their level of focus is in it? Can you see their level of manifestation in it? Can you give yourself that permission to see that extraction in the universe? And so it might be deep. It might be down to the core with you versus you. It might be in that place where you got to pick yourself up. It might be in that place where you got to lock yourself in a room and say, let's do this. Let's get down with ourselves. Let's get down with our challenges. Let's get down with our mentality. Let's start turning that mentality into an able mentality. And the less you have, the more you have. The more you have, the less you have you. So focus on your ability to be you. That everything that you do in your day is you. That you are so focused that you can become nothing less than yourself. That you being yourself is all you have. That all you have inside is your path. That all you have inside is your journey. That all you have inside is your mentality. And what is being manifested outwards is the process of your level of focus. And so down with yourself to that page where no fear has the ability to stop you, where no fear has the ability to hold you back, where no emotion has the ability to stop you from your ability to be yourself, to enjoy your path, to enjoy your journey, to enjoy your purpose. To get down with yourself to that page requires focus. It requires you to turn your positivity on, to turn your mentality into an ability, to turn your ability into the ability to get over the things that others would not. And what are those things going to be? You have been alive for how long? You have gone through your challenges for how long? You have gone through your path for how long? And you are qualified for your path. You are qualified for your journey. And if I'm the only person who told you that, then I want to leave you with that kind of blessing. But I want to continue talking about what it takes to get there. I want you to see that you can do this. You can achieve it. You can shut off the negativity. You can turn on the positivity. You can take the things that are negative and turn them positive. It's up to you. It's up to your mentality. It's up to your ability to see that they don't have an effect over you. When you are focused, when you are truly focused, the ability for this universe to utilize you as a tool turns you into a process. And so don't be surprised in the results. Be surprised in your level of focus and your ability to dominate your walk and to dominate your ability to be yourself, to dominate your ability to go through those things that only you could go through. And focus to that place. Focus on that. Allow it to become a foundation. Allow it to become an ability. Allow it to become an ability to face off against things and search after positivity in them. What a blessing it is that we have challenges. What a blessing it is that we have difficulties. Because when you overcome them, when you make it through them, when they come in your way and they're not stopping you. And one of the biggest levels of focus, one of the biggest teachers is pain. When you can overcome pain, when you can sit through it, when you can be patient with yourself, when it's not easy, when you are sitting in that kind of place where you have that kind of mentality, the blessings start coming your way. You start to pull from this universe. You start to pull from places where you never thought that you could. And it's with that kind of place that your focus becomes a level of reflection. It's with that level of focus where you are 100% you. It's where the universe starts to pull and lift you up beyond that. It's when you start to achieve things that you never thought were humanly possible. It's within that place that you start to hear those kind of stories. It's in that kind of place that the purpose of you writing stuff down to share is there for you to study for yourself. Are you hearing what I'm saying? What you do matters. What you focus on matters. How you go through your challenges matter. When you allow yourself that place, when you see yourself that way, when you become that person, when you give yourself that ability, when you sit on that mentality, when you start to focus to that level of ability, the blessings start to come your way. They start to manifest themselves in your life. They start to become a reflection. They start to become a level of understanding. And so, are you letting that universe test you? Are you letting that universe work with you? Are you letting that universe work through you? A lot of people want things to happen for them. They don't want to be a part of the process. They don't want to be a part of the challenges. And I'm here to tell you that unless you have the ability to make it through those challenges, you won't be able to make it through your life. And as you focus through your challenges, as you find that place, you will find the blessings in this universe. You will find the blessings in the ability to be you. You were given a name. You were given a place. You were known under that name as you. When people think of you, they think of you by that name. That is a level of focus. That is an ability to get to that place. And that person that you are, that person that's been on the face of the planet as long as you have been, that person that's gone through the things that only you could go through, that person that's been through the challenges that only you could face off against, is the only one that's qualified to focus to that level. And that means that is a blessing. That means that is an ability. That means that you have a purpose, that you have a journey, that you have a path, that you are a tool in this universe. That this universe, when you see yourself as a tool, when you give yourself the ability to go through your process, when you give yourself the place inside of you, when you start to manifest it, when your mentality starts to become it, when you could see past the things that others can't, when you could shut off the things that others won't, when you put yourself in a place where what you have inside is an able ability, that ability to manifest it outwards comes from you, and that is you, and that means that you are a blessing in this universe. What does it take for you to see it? Can you put yourself in a place where you're writing stuff down every day, where you're listening to positivity, where you're putting subconscious things in your mind that are giving you the ability to wake up with an ability to wake up with blessings coming out of you? When other people see you as a light, as a person that's focused to that level, they will start to use the tools that you have. Your day will become lighter. Your ability will become lighter. Your challenges will become lighter. And it's from that mentality that others will see you as a level of motivation. And that is the place where we want to be. We want others to seek us out. We want others to find us. We want others to see that they can do this for themselves, that they could become it inside of themselves. That when you're in your job and you're focused on your path, when you're on your journey or you're in your place, that you are being you. And so, if you've ever asked yourself the question, if I spoke my mind, what would happen? I want you to know I am speaking my mind. I am speaking who I truly am. I want to inspire you. I want you to see a level of motivation, the drive of focus to go to that point, to speak about focus for 30 minutes of an hour, to recognize that is a foundation. And that is a question that was asked. There was a question asked of Bill Gates. Bill Gates asked a question: what is the most important attribute on the face of the planet to success? And that is focus. So ask yourself, how focused are you? How focused are you? Are you able to do this? Are you able to achieve this? Are you able to go beyond where others would go? Are you able to get to places where others won't? Are you able to overcome things that others won't? If you want that position, if you want that upgrade, hear what I'm saying. Recognize that. Give yourself that place. Give yourself that ability. Get down with that level of focus. Do the things that others won't so you can have the things that others won't. And that is a place inside of you. And as you start to let it happen on the outside, so will it start to come inwards. So will it start working with the breath. So will it start to give you that place. And you got to give yourself permission. You got to give yourself permission to get inside of you. You got to give yourself permission to connect with your breath. You got to give yourself permission to face off against your challenges. You got to give yourself permission to get down with yourself to the place where you become that. And inside, and once you overcome the ability to do that, you start to get inwards. You start to face off against things that others won't. You start to get honest with yourself. You start to get honest with your ability. You start to get honest with your challenges. And that is where it all starts. That is where the classroom starts. That is where the second part, which is called meditation, becomes a reflection. When you study your breath, when you study your knowledge, when you focus to that place where you allow it to become a process, when it starts to become a process inside of you, when you literally start to get inside of you, when you could feel the universe heating up from your level of ability, when you have an able mentality, when you start to dominate the ability to face off against you, to face off against the person inside of you, to connect to that place, to shut off the world and to get inwards. And that's when we start to become a student of our life. That is when we start to become a student of our path. That is when we start to become a student of our purpose, of our journey, of our own blessing within. You are on your path. Recognize that you can do it, that you can truly go inwards, that when you overcome things inside of yourself, the ability for things to happen around you become blessings. And you can get down with the extraction of that energy by turning yourself into that kind of tool. And I want you to see that you can get down to the place where you could study you, where what you have inside is so great that the things that you face off against on the outside have no ability to overcome you. And it's from within that we manifest outwards. And so get inwards, get into that place, get down with yourself. Allow yourself to become a student of your life. Allow your breath to become a process inwards. After all, we have an inwards breath. That place is focus. That place is the process. That place is the ability to be inside of yourself, to work on the things inside of you, to work on the fears inside of you, to work on the emotions inside of you, to start to stand your ground, to start to overcome your thought process, your worries. When you get to that place where that energy opens up, where that book starts to open up, where those chapters inside of yourself start to open up, with that level of focus, you can overcome them. With that level of focus, you can get through them. With that level of focus, you can become you. And that is a process. And that's the second piece of what I talk about, which is meditation. The study of oneself. One part of mastery is the inwards breath. The inwards process, the focus of getting down with oneself inwards. And as you give yourself that ability, you will actually start to learn how to use that energy. You'll start to use that kind of process. And as Robert Kiyosaki, and I quote, Robert Kiyosaki stated that emotion is nothing less than energy in motion. So are you starting to control your energy? Are you starting to control your ability? Are you starting to get down with yourself to that place where you can do that? And as he recognized that emotion is nothing less than energy in motion, we recognize that this energy is always in motion. You are always breathing. You are always moving. You are always inside of yourself. Give yourself the place to be. Give yourself your ability to be you. Give yourself the ability to face off against your challenges, to go through the things that only you can go through, to use the energy that only you can use, and start to get down with the centering of that classroom, where that center breath has a place, where you are that student inside the classroom of you, where you are that place inside of yourself, where you have that ability to be you, where you face off against the things inside of you. And as your external breath starts to become the extraction of that knowledge from that internal breath, that level of learning happens. When you start to recognize that that knowledge has a purpose, that that knowledge has a place, that when you have the ability to read that kind of stuff with the tool of your level of focus, with the tool of your centering of oneself, that that knowledge becomes the teacher. And allow that external breath to become that. Allow that external breath to check that. Allow that external breath to become that process to release that. To extract that knowledge inside of oneself is liberation. To free yourself from your emotions, to free yourself from your fears, to free yourself from your pains, allowing yourself the process, allowing yourself that ability, allowing yourself those kinds of challenges. And that's what meditation is about. It's about self-study. It's about self-understanding. It's about you asking yourself the question, how many years have I been on the face of the planet? How well do I know myself? How well am I willing to get inside of myself? How well am I to face off against myself? And that is the place where you wage the biggest war, and that is over you. And so when you see yourself in that kind of freedom, your memories will start to come back. Your emotions will start to come back. The understanding will start to come back. The energy inside will start to come back. The ability for you to be you will start to come back. The blessings for you will start to come back. The understanding, the light inside of you, the energy inside of you, the being that you are. Ask yourself this question: why do they call me a human being? Unless I can become one inside of myself and I can have that being present, that being aware, that being able to overcome my challenges, that being that ability to extract that knowledge, to recognize that it is sufficient from within, that you are intelligent, that you are blessed, that you do have challenges, that they were meant to help you to understand and to learn how to overcome them. What a blessing it is to get inwards. What a blessing it is to face off against oneself. What a blessing it is to both be a student inside the classroom of your life and to be that teacher at the same time. We are both the student and the teacher in the process of learning, in the process of extracting knowledge, in the process of understanding, in the process of becoming, in the process of manifesting, in the process of understanding. And what is that understanding? Less than your life, your ability to be you, to start to accept your challenges, to start to accept your blessings, to start to accept your ability to be you. As we focus beyond that, we start to become focus beyond focus, knowledge beyond knowledge. And I want to see that you can do that for yourself, that you can light up that understanding inside of you, that that knowledge is and has always been inside of you, and that it's waiting for you to open it up yourself. What type of tools can you use? There are many tools across the face of the planet to open that knowledge. People use singing. People use exercise. People use meditation. People use walking. People use all kinds of different ways to get that out. The purpose is to get to that place where you start to allow yourself to learn, where you start to allow yourself to be sufficient, where you start to allow yourself to have that kind of blessing, where you can focus to that place where you can start to use your gifts, you can start to use your abilities, you can start to use your challenges. And as you start to understand yourself as you start to get down with yourself, as you start to overcome what others wouldn't be able to, don't be surprised when they start to see that you have an understanding. Don't be surprised when they start to call you intelligent. Don't be surprised when they start to see that you have what it takes. It's you that had to wake up. It's you that had to breathe your breath. It's you that had to start your journey. It's you that's on your path. It's you that's on your journey. And so what do we see in that way? What kind of people have we seen? We have seen artists. We have seen singers. We have seen writers. We have seen speakers. We have seen sports athletes who have achieved a place where their focus and knowledge, their whole being becomes it. The whole universe utilizes it. The whole universe understands it, that they become a gift in this universe. And some people even say they were blessed for this challenge. And it is inside of ourselves that we have to embrace it for ourselves. It's inside of ourselves that we have to see that we are a gift, that we are a purpose, that we do have a path, that the Most High can work through you and with you. Are you seeing that process in your day? Are you connecting your focus with your knowledge? Creating a level of foundation through focus, extracting the knowledge inside, reaching a connection between the two where other people call you discipline, where other people call you uplifting, where other people see your level inside, where they start to ask themselves that last question. Can we get to a place where what we are doing is uplifting through being ourselves? And that creates a beautiful world. That creates a beautiful being. That lifts up a person who might be in a dark place. That tells them that if they use what they got, they can get where they want to go. And I want you to become uplifted to that level. I want you to see that kind of reflection. I want you to become that kind of inspired. I want you to lighten your day from being you, from facing off against the challenges that only you can, from seeing the blessings that you are, from being the person that you can only be. That is you. And so as you have nothing less than you. And I want you to know that is sufficient for your journey. And when you use your path, when you use your whole being, when you put your whole being into it, you answer the question to the universe, can I be me? And that being is you. That human being is you. That purpose is you. That path is you. That purpose is you. That journey is you. And as you allow that knowledge and that focus to connect, you become that level of discipline. You become that level of light. You start to lighten the way. You start to uplift other people. You start to use your whole entire being. We have seen people across the face of the planet have done this. We have seen them do this numerous times, where they use their level of knowledge and their focus to become present, to be a part of their path, and that their journey, like soccer players, we think of Pelé, who connected his whole self to his game, who ended up facing off against multiple opponents and overcame multiple opponents. We look at people out there like Elvis Presley, who sung his heart out, who has the mentality to overcome things, that have left ripples across the face of the planet. We look at other stories across the face of the planet. We look at motivational speakers as a level of focus to connect their knowledge and focus to the place where you can be too. And when you uplift other people from that place, when you start to lighten their loads, when you start to give more than you receive, when you start to become a tool in the universe, you recognize the tool that you are. And so what a blessing it is. What a blessing it is to face off against challenges. What a blessing it is to uplift other people. What a blessing it is for you to achieve things from within. You are a light in this universe. It's up for you to see it for you. It's up for you to become it for you. It's up for you to have a relationship with the Most High from within you. It's for you. It's not for somebody else to judge you. It's not for somebody else to say for you. It's for you to become uplifted from within yourself, to recognize your blessing that you are on the face of the planet, that you came for your journey, for your path. And as we get down with ourselves, as we face off against that kind of challenge, that is where other people start to become uplifted. That's where other people start to see you as a blessing. And I want to inspire you to become the best you. I want to inspire you to see the reflection that's discipline that's called you. That you have a name. that the Most High recognizes you. The blessings in this universe is you, and that you have a breath, you have a purpose, you have a journey, that you are a light in this universe, that when you become that kind of light, this universe has the ability to use you. And I am telling you that we have seen it throughout time. We have seen it throughout anywhere on the face of the planet. We can think of one person that's become an inspiration. We could think of one person who's used their energy to that level. We could think of one person who has overcome things. And that person is and can be you. And so, wherever you are on the face of the planet, whatever challenges you're facing off against, if you connect your focus and knowledge to a place of discipline, you can overcome your challenges. But you have to be honest with yourself. You have to let the things that aren't meant for you move out of the way. You have to be who you are inside. You have to light up this universe to a place where others won't go. You have to do things that others wouldn't do to get to the place where you want to go. So ask yourself, as you see others, like for instance, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is known to have expressed himself when he was asked a question. He was asked a question. When people come to learn from you, what are they coming to learn from you? How do they come to learn from you? When you take on a student, he said, ultimately, martial arts is nothing less than learning how to express oneself in a combatic form. I'm going to say that again. When you express yourself as you, you are dominating your day. You are dominating your walk. You're dominating your ability. And that's why Bruce Lee understood that. Also, you have to focus to the place where you achieve you, where you believe in you, where you face off against the things that nobody else will for you. After all, you are the only one that's breathing your breath. You are the only one that's going through your challenges. You have to become a person to speak yourself up. You have to put in your subconscious that you can do it and you will become it. That the knowledge and focus is sufficient from within you. That you can achieve things, that you can become things, that you are a blessing in this universe. And a lot of people that seek me out, they ask this question daily. How do we get there? It's from within you that you get there. It's from within you that you achieve it. It's from within you that you become it. It's from within it you face off against you. It's from within that focus and knowledge that you become a level of discipline, and that discipline is called you. And so, are you at work? Are you in a place where you're facing off against a challenge? You know, you might have a challenge in your day. Have you tried applying your focus and your knowledge to finding a place of discipline where you can see the positivity come out, where it becomes a manifestation, where it becomes an ability that other people see your level of discipline as an inspiration, where it uplifts other people just from you existing, from your being on the face of the planet, from you being that human being that you are, that human being that you are inside, the human being that faces off against things and chooses to get back up, even after they get kicked down. It's getting back up that matters. It's recognizing that you can do it. It's recognizing that you are a blessing, that you can overcome things that nobody else can, which is called you. There's no doctor that can save a life once it's gone. So you might as well recognize that you are a blessing on the face of the planet, that you are a blessing in this universe, that you are going to have challenges, and nobody else is going to understand them but you. And start to recognize that you are the only one that can overcome them. And I want you to see that kind of light. I want you to see that kind of discipline. I want you to see that kind of place where it's you versus you. Where it isn't about if people call you positive or negative. It's when you start to see yourself as a positive force in the universe. It's when you're getting your butt kicked and you pick yourself up and you don't compare yourself to other people. You compare yourself to you. You put yourself in a place where you're going to uplift yourself. I remember when I used to work for Chrysler, there were times when I was getting my butt kicked. I mean, people were kicking my butt. And always at the end of the month, I was either first, second place. Because the mentality is the place. The ability to not face off against others but yourself. To face off against your challenges is up to you. It's up to the person that you are inside. It's up to the mentality that only you can have. And I'm telling you, that is a place where when people came to Bruce Lee to learn of the focus and the knowledge and the discipline that Bruce Lee taught, they ultimately found themselves. They were finding themselves. He was only teaching them how to be themselves. He was only teaching them to face off against themselves. He was only teaching them to believe in themselves, to use that discipline, which they call discipline of knowledge and focus, to be centered within oneself. That is the key. When you start to become you, when you don't need other things from the external, when the things from within start to light up in this world, when you are simply you, you are not selfish to be you. A lot of people have taught when you are yourself that you are selfish. I want to tell you, I want to wake you up to the fact that you don't need to change. You just need to simply be you. You just need to allow the people who move in your direction to move in your direction, to become uplifted by knowing you, by being yourself, to be who you are inside, to see that blessing that you are, to see those challenges that you face off against as a blessing, to overcome those challenges that nobody else can do for you. And a lot of people have taught good and bad instead of positive and negative. I want to challenge that in a way that we start to become positive forces in this universe. I want to start to challenge that in a way that you start to see your path, your journey, your purpose, your place is within you. That there is a reason to live. There is a reason to breathe. There is a reason to uplift other people. There is a reason to utilize things like the law of riches, to utilize the 110% club, which is 100% you, 10% Most High God. When you feel, that's when it starts. When you fail, that's when you start to succeed. When you start to overcome your challenges, that's where the blessings in the universe. And I want to help people to dominate their walk. I want them to start to strive to not just become strong, but survive themselves. To survive those challenges that they face off against. To get to that place where the heat on the outside isn't as great as you are inside. That universe, that level of discipline, that place is a mentality. That place is an ability. And that place is you. When you are centered inside of your classroom, when your focus and your knowledge and your classroom are centered together, when you are leaving blessings for people, when you're understanding the law of riches, when you are utilizing the process of you, when you're utilizing the knowledge inside of you, you are such a wealth on the face of the planet. You are such a wealth in this universe. You are such a path in this universe. You are such a blessing in this universe. When's the first time you heard that you are a blessing in this universe? Because you are. Have you seen that? Have you seen how your father, your mother, your brother, your sister see you as an important piece of their world? Because your world matters. Your being matters. Your abilities matter. Your knowledge matters. Your focus matters. You matter. And so I want you to become uplifted. I want you to become you. I want to inspire you to be yourself. I want to inspire you to see your blessings. I want to inspire you to see your purpose. I want to inspire you to overcome your challenges. I want you to see that level of discipline comes from your mentality. It comes from your ability. It comes from within you. And when you are comparing yourself to other people, you cannot be yourself. Be nothing less than you. Face off against things with you. Become a blessing in this universe. Allow the people that are not meant for you to move out of the way, and allow the things that are meant to move in your way, and watch what happens. Watch how the universe utilizes it. Watch how the universe utilizes your levels. Watch how you start to bless other people by being you. Watch how the people start to move in your direction that see you, that uplift you. And as you uplift other people, as you utilize the gifts that you have, uplift other people, Bring them up. Pick them up with your ability to be picked up yourself. Pick up your ability to help out other people, to use the law of riches within the universe, to understand the universal aspect of positive and negative forces, to see beyond oneself, to see beyond one's ability, to see the positivity, to recognize that your purpose, your path is worth it, and that you absolutely are worth it in the face of the universe. You are a blessing. You are a tool. And so, what kind of blessings can you bring? What kind of place can you go? What kind of challenges can you face off against when you know that you are a blessing in this universe? What kind of things can you face off against that nobody else could face off against, that you are made for? What kind of things can you become disciplined that you can start to turn this world into a beautiful place? How can you use what you have for this universe to become a light? How can you uplift people that might be in dark places, that might be in dark challenges in their life? How can you focus beyond those challenges? How can you get to that place where your focus is beyond focus, where your knowledge is beyond knowledge, where your discipline becomes a radiating reflection, where other people see your level of reflection as inspiration? And so, as we inspire each other, if there's a day that I leave this world, I want you to become inspired. If you hit this message now, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, and this has the ability to uplift you, leave a like, leave a comment, leave something so that you can see it for yourself, so that you can see the uplifting, the challenges are worth it. And I'm telling you, you are worth it. And you have a purpose. Ask yourself this question every day. Is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. And so what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you to be the whole you? If you could achieve everything in this world that you want to become, what would that be? Subscribe to these networks: YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, and Instagram. And so each day you're going to face off against challenges. Are you waking up with a positive mentality? Are you waking up with a positive ability? Are you waking up and saying, let's do this, let's become this? And one of those ways is by waking up early and going to bed early, by getting yourself in a routine where you put yourself down, where you give yourself the time to rest, to give yourself the time to diet, to give yourself the time to exercise, to give yourself the time to meditate, where you give yourself the time to do exercise, to do yoga, to open the mind's ability to see through the being, to become present within yourself, to become present in your understanding, to become present within your challenges. What a blessing it is that we have challenges. What a blessing it is we have things like pain. Because as we focus through them, they become a teacher. And as we see that, as we learn from that, as we become that kind of patient, become patient with yourself. Recognize that you're not always going to learn everything at one time. Give yourself the place to grow. Give yourself the place to become that light. Give yourself the time to be where you are, to go through the challenges that only you could go through, to see the blessing that you are, to face off against the things that nobody else could do, to become that kind of discipline where the things that go on around you no longer have an effect over you, because what you have inside is so great that your level of discipline is focus beyond focus, knowledge beyond knowledge, discipline beyond discipline, where it's other people that are becoming uplifted. Let other people be the ones that call you strong. Let other people be the ones that call you self-study. Let them call you a practice of being yourself. Let them call you a place from within that lights up in this universe, because you do light up. You are a star in this universe. You are a light source in this universe. You are a path in this universe. You are beautiful within this universe. Your journey is worth it. Your path is worth it. Your purpose is worth it. And you are worth it. What does it mean to become a reflection of inspiration? Let's do it together. Let's become it together. Let's light up this world in such a way that other people's worlds become a greater place where our face is a blessing in this universe. You all have it. It's for you to see it for yourself that matters the most. It's within yourself that you start to become it. It's within yourself that others start to become uplifted. I just want to leave you with that kind of inspiration. I want to leave your day in that kind of light, in that kind of place that you can start to see it for yourself. As we close, I just want to say blessings, 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 and namaste.